Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be recreating vaguely one of the looks that I have done with the Pat McGrath mini palettes. So she has 3 holiday mini palettes. I use the Bronze Temptation mini palette, which is, in my opinion, the best for like holiday because it's got the red and the greens. The packaging is just perfect. So I use basically every color in the palette except for this poor guy right here. This is probably one of the most popular looks on my social media. And I remember a while back asking you guys like which look you wanted to see, and I wanted to do a holiday look. So this one kind of just like fit right in there. I do recommend that you do your eyes first because these are very pigmented eyeshadows. I didn't get a whole lot of fallout because I was very careful, but just to be safe. All right guys, as always, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. So if you want to see how I got this look, keep watching. All right, so I'm gonna prep underneath my eyes with these little like under eye masks while we're doing our eyeshadow first. I already popped on my brows. I used the Kat Von D Super Brow in light brown. I am only going to be showing you the eyes in this tutorial. I literally just filmed a glowing skin tutorial and a full coverage matte foundation tutorial, so I'll link those down below so you can kind of like pick which base you want to put it with. I didn't want this video to be like an hour long. Anyway, so I'm gonna start off by priming my lids. I think what I'm gonna do is go in with a little bit of concealer first. I'm gonna use the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This is in Light 16. And to blend that out, I'm gonna be using this Morphe brush. It's from their new like holiday collection, I think, but it doesn't have a number on it, so I don't know. It's just kind of like a synthetic, sort of a fluffy synthetic brush. Now I'm gonna go in with my finger and kind of pat around the crease. Just make sure that I don't have a ton of buildup of product. Now I'm gonna go in with this e.l.f. primer. This is in the shade Sheer. And I'm just placing this right over top. I'm only gonna use like a small amount. And then with my finger, I'm gonna pat that out. Now what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal setting powder. I'm gonna use this to set the crease of my eye, just because that's the place that I want to have the best blending. I want it to be nice and soft. All right, so today I'm going to be using one of the mini holiday palettes. This is from Pat McGrath. This one is Mothership's Sublime Bronze Temptation. This one, in my opinion, is the most like Christmassy or holiday because it's got reds. So Bronze Temptation is my personal favorite. I just love all of the colors. You have perfect like transition and then deepening matte shades. You have really beautiful shimmers for the lid or on the inner corner. So I'm gonna be starting off with the light brown shade in my crease, and I'm picking that up on my Morphe R39 brush. And instead of bringing it like all the way down in the crease, I'm gonna kind of stop it here and then bring it up to the brow. And then I really like to blend it out this way. I'm gonna bring it out a little bit. I don't wanna bring it all the way out because we haven't done our foundation yet. I like to kind of flick it up into the brow. And then if you feel like you're having a hard time blending because you only have a couple blending shades to work with, you can just kind of like go back in with your translucent powder around the edges of this and it'll help buff it out. That's how you get that like flawless blend. I like to try and build up that shadow before I start going in with darker ones to see like how much dimension I can get with that one shadow. I think it helps the look from becoming too dark too quickly. And then one of my favorite things to do is to bring that almost all the way up to the brow bone. You can bring it all the way up and just kind of like feather it so it doesn't end up being like one solid color. You can see how we're kind of creating that gradient, but you can see that pigment is right up under the brow. Now using one of the other Morphe brushes, this is just a tiny blending brush. I love this brush. Again, no name. I'm gonna pick up that dark brown and I'm gonna place it on the outer crease, I guess, kind of like in a V. I'm just gonna lay in the shape that I want first before I start blending. So because we deepened this area up a lot, you want to make sure that you are deepening up this area. So it's kind of going to create a little bit of balance. So if you're going here, you want to go here and bring it out like that. Otherwise you can kind of bring the eyes in a little bit too much and it can look weird. Now I'm going back in with that light brown and I'm going to buff around the edges of that dark brown. Pretty sure I talk about this in all of my videos, but blending is literally just back and forth. I'm going to take a larger, fluffier brush and I'm going to pick up a little bit of that translucent powder and just soften this inner part a little bit more. So I'm bringing that brown down just a little bit because I realized that the lid color is going to be dark. So I want to make sure that it all kind of like blends together, but I don't want it to get too dark in here. All right, before I finish all of the blending, I'm going to go in with the lid shade. So I'm going to be using this like red shift right here, this guy. And I'm just going to be picking that up on my finger, on my ring finger. And I'm just gonna be placing this down with my, look at that pigment. That payoff is so crazy. So I'm gonna focus it on the lower part of the lid and then kind of like blend it up into the crease. I definitely prefer applying these shadows with my finger. Make sure that you're pressing when you first apply the shadow. That way you're gonna prevent fallout. I mean, we're doing our eyes first, but you know, still, you don't wanna waste any product. All right, I'm just gonna pick up a little bit more of that dark brown and kind of deepen up the crease and just do a little bit of blending around that shade. All right, guys, I'm going to finish off the rest of my face and then we'll come in to the lower lash line and finish off the blending. All right, so now that I have the rest of my base on, I am going to set this area of my face right around here with a little bit of that translucent powder from Too Faced, and I'm going to basically just like start blowing that out. So I'm just gonna pat it like all around, kind of soften that area. Now I'm gonna take that brush that we placed all of these shadows down with, and I just kind of like wiped it off on a paper towel, so there's no additional pigment on it, but it's not clean exactly. And I'm going to buff around those edges. And I like to create kind of a wing following like the shape of my eye and my brow. And I'm using like very light strokes. All right, for the lower lash line, I'm gonna start off with that light brown on my City Color CCB 103 brush. And I'm gonna start off by buffing it like on the underside of my under eye. But I wanna keep this kind of low. Don't wanna cover up that whole area because I wanna go in with the green shade. Always make sure that you're connecting your lower lash line up into the crease. Otherwise it's gonna look super disconnected and weird. All right, so now I'm grabbing that dark brown. I'm gonna focus this on the outer corner, just right there. I'm making this look a little bit lighter because, I mean, it's pretty smoky the way it is, but I'm keeping all of the shades a little bit lighter than the look that I did for Instagram, just so that it's a little bit more wearable. Because like, does it need to get much smokier than this? You know? All right, for my waterline, I'm gonna go in with the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eye pencil. This is an Overdrive. I'm gonna slowly bring that down onto my lash line. Now I'm gonna pick up that green shade on another little Morphe brush. This is kind of like a detailed pencil brush. I'm gonna make sure that I'm really tapping this off because we have the rest of our face makeup on now. I don't wanna deal with a bunch of fallout, and this is the darkest shade. So I'm making sure that I'm tapping it off, and then I'm gonna use a little Fix Plus just to kind of like set what's on the brush. And then I'm going to place it in the center of the eye above that brown and just kind of like tap all along my eye, blending it into that dark brown. All right, and for my inner corner, I'm gonna grab this light gold shade because I haven't used this yet, surprisingly, and I think it'll look pretty. All right, guys, so I just popped on some of the Better Than Sex mascara by Too Faced. I just wanted to show you what the eye look looks like without any false lashes. You can definitely wear it with just mascara if that's your kind of thing. Personally, I love like a smoky eye with just natural lashes because it kind of has like a more high fashion feel to it. So I popped on the House of Lashes Iconic Light Lashes. I was gonna use the Iconics, but they're like a little bit much, and I wanted you to be able to actually see the eye look. For lips, I did a little bit of lip contouring, you know, my typical, and then I went in with the Kylie Cosmetics lip gloss in Yes Girl. I can't remember which collection this is from, honestly. They come out with so many products, but it's super pretty. I really love it. It's very natural looking, but it's also got a little bit of like, how do I say, like a dirty gold and sort of reddish pink reflect. So I feel like it complements the overall eye look really nicely. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.